Please let me know if my voice is audible so that we can start with today's session. So in this session, we'll be looking at a mock test on research aptitude, and we'll be taking up the most expected MCQs for your upcoming UGC NET 2022 examination. Okay. So in this session, we'll be looking at a mock test on research aptitude. Okay. So before going to the questions, I would like to tell you students that we have started our new batch for UGC NET 2022 for paper 1, and the new batch will start from 14th of April students. Here the speciality of this batch is that we are covering your entire syllabus through our live sessions. Okay, so each and every topic we'll be covering for you through our live lectures. And along with that, our lectures are daily at 9 p.m. from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. except on Sundays. And here we'll be taking up your theory as well as your MCQs. Okay, so here what you have to do is if you take our course along with our lectures, we'll be also providing you notes, last 10 years question paper, test series, question bank, everything that you require for UGC NET preparation we'll be providing you. If you want to join our course, you can either download Global Online app from Play Store. The link is also present in the description box. Also, you can WhatsApp us on this official WhatsApp number. The fees for paper 1 is 3000 only. And here also we have put up a evaluation test for UGC NET 2022. This is how the interface of our app looks like. Everything is for paper 1 is present on our app. And today's topic is research aptitude mock test. So the code for the same is RA005. Okay. Sorry students, it's RA004. So the test code is RA004, and here we are taking up a mock test on research aptitudes for, so for the same to practice to see whatever we have studied if you have understood that or not. So for that we have put up this evaluation test. It is present on the app and it is absolutely free students. Okay, anyone who want to check the preparation can check from this test. Okay, so let's begin. The first question is, on a broader perspective, all researches are either quantitative or qualitative, either exploratory or descriptive, either experimental or applied, or none of the above. Okay, students, try to answer this question. All those who are live. On a broader perspective, all researchers are. Yes, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Shelly, Shamina. Try to answer question number 1. On a broader perspective, researchers. What is the meaning of research? Research means to search something again and again. Okay, so it could be something which is adding to our knowledge, or something if you are trying to find something new. Okay, new knowledge or additional to the already known facts is also called research. So on a broader perspective, all the researchers are either quantitative or qualitative. So quantitative researchers are those that deals with numbers. Okay, Qualitative research is something that finds in-depth knowledge of a particular topic. Yes. So everyone is giving the right answer. Very good. Mohammed Taha, Shelly, Shamina, Nisha. Yes, good evening. You guys are giving the right answer. So now you know, on a broader perspective, all the researchers are either quantitative or qualitative. The right answer to this is question 1, option 1. Okay, it is not experimental or applied. Okay, experimental researchers is those who look at cause and effect. Okay, cause and effect. So do you think all researchers look at cause and effect? No. Okay, so the Kavita, option C will not be the right answer. Okay, for example, historical research. Do you think historical researchers deal with experimental or applied? No, na. So that means it is either quantitative or qualitative. Okay. Second question. If a researcher wants to know how a change in achievement is dependent on the discussion method, the researcher will follow which of the following researches? Action research, experimental research, psychological research, or quasi experimental research. Question number 2. If a researcher wants to know how a change in achievement is dependent on the discussion method, the researcher will follow which of the following researches? Action research. So action research is to find out answers to immediate problems. Experimental, psychological, or quasi experimental. The right answer to this is option B, experimental. Yes, everyone is giving the right answer. Means how a change in achievement is dependent on the discussion method. So here, if there is some problem and if you do discussion based on it, then how will be the how will the achievement affect, or how will the achievement change? So that is experimental research, because there is a cause and effect. Okay, there is a cause. If you change how a change in achievement is dependent on discussion method. So there is a cause and effect. At that time you use experimental research. The right answer to this question is option B. Which one is called a non-probability sampling? Cluster sampling, quota sampling, systematic sampling, or stratified random sampling? So first of all, students, you should know what is sampling. So sampling is the method of selecting a group of people or individual or objects from a population. So if this is the whole population and you have to take a small number, then for example, if you have to do a research on 1 lakh people, and so dealing with 1 lakh people is a very big task. Okay, so at that time you cannot take consideration into 1 lakh people. You will take a small number of people from that, and then you will say you will do research based on them. So doing research on 1 lakh people is very difficult. So you can do a research on 5,000 people. 5k, k means 1000, 5,000 people. So doing research on 5,000 people is easier than doing on 1 lakh people. So here there are two types of sampling. One sampling is called probability sampling, and the other is called non-probability sampling. So probability sampling means the chances of getting picked up from the population is equal. Okay, all the people have equal chances of getting picked up in the population, while non-probability unequal. There is unequal chances of getting picked up from the population. Okay, so here there are various types of probability sampling, and there are various types of non-probability sampling as well. So the question is asking which of the following is a kind of non-probability sampling. So here your quota sampling is a kind of non-probability sampling method. Okay, cluster sampling is a probability sampling method. Here what happens in cluster sampling, if there is a large population, you divide that population into subgroups. What you do? You divide the population into subgroups and then you select any one sample. Systematic sampling is like, what happens is, systematic sampling is, uh, if there are 100 people and you have to select 10 people, so what you do is you select the first person, then you select the 11th person, then 21st, then 31st, like that you select from 1 to 100, like that you select 10 people. So that is systematic sampling. Stratified sampling is, what you do is you divide the population into subgroups. Okay, so here the only remaining here is non-probability sampling. Method here is quota sampling. So I'll give you a very good example of quota sampling, student. For example, there is a college and you have to do a research on stress seen in college students. So what you do is there are 1000 people and you have to select only 100 students for the research. So what you will do is you will see the quota. What is the ratio between the number of students, uh, girls and boys? So if the college is having 600 boys and 400 girls, so in your sample, what you will do is you will take 60 boys and 40 girls. Okay, like that you are giving quota to the sample also, and quota sampling is a kind of non-probability sampling. Okay, got it? So stratified sampling, one student is asking, even this in this you divide the population into smaller groups called strata. Okay, here the people in this strata are having same characteristics, and then you pick up the sample. Okay, and in cluster sampling, what you do is you divide the population into clusters. Okay, and then you take the sample. So here the difference between them is, in cluster sampling, when you divide the population into clusters, you pick any one cluster. But in stratified, what you do is, if, like, for example, you have to take um, there is a group from which you have to do sampling. So if there are 100 people and there are like um then you divide it into like 33 boys, 33 children, 33 adult men, 33 adult female. So you take one, you if you have to select like 9 people, you have to select from sample. So what you will do, you will select 3 kids, 3 men and 3 children. Okay, so this is stratified sampling. What you do is you take the whole population and divide it into small strata, and you select some from here, some from here and some from here. While in cluster sampling, you divide the population into clusters and then randomly select any one cluster. So this is the difference between stratified and cluster sampling. Okay, got it? Let's see the next question. Dash is a formal reference to a published or unpublished source that a researcher uses for writing his or her research paper, tutorial, journal, manuscript or citation. Okay, try to answer question number 4. Formal reference to a published or unpublished source. Question number 4, what do you think is the answer? So here manuscript. What is manuscript, students? Manuscript is something that is written by hand. Okay, like many years ago when there were no computers or any typewriters, manuscript, like people used to write things by hand, so that is called manuscript. A book, it could be a book, it could be any document, or anything that has even like an author's handwritten or typed text which is not published. Okay, so that is manuscript. While what is journal? A journal is like a newspaper and magazines that deal with particular subject or professional activity. Okay, it is not something for entertainment, students. It is like a newspaper or magazine. Okay, with specific field or industry. It could be from a specific field or industry, that is journal. While what is citation? A citation is a formal reference to any book or any published or unpublished source. For example, you are writing a research paper. While writing a research paper, what you do is you take somebody else's paper also into consideration, and at that time what you have to do is you have to cite his or her paper. So that is called citation. So you have to give reference of the paper that you have used while writing your own paper. So here question number 4, right answer is option D, citation. Which of the following can be included as a primary source of data? Handwritten, manuscripts only, observation and collection from thesis only, questionnaire and interview only, or all of the above? So here, which of the following can be included as a primary source of data? So question number 5, what is primary source of data? So primary source of data is something that you have collected on your own. Okay, you have not used somebody else's work. All the data that you have collected, you have done it or you have gathered it on your own. So that is primary source of data. Secondary source of data is something that somebody else has collected. Okay, so here handwritten manuscripts, observation and collection from thesis only, questionnaire and interview, all these are a kind of primary source of data. Okay, so if you are taking from any websites or internet, okay, then you will call it secondary source of data. Okay, while all these things that you have collected on your handwritten manuscripts, observation and collection from thesis, questionnaires and interviews, all these are a kind of primary source of data. Okay, Eric Medline, AB Inform are instances of citation services, electronic database, printed database, or libraries. Answer question number 6, students. So here the full form of ERIC is Educational Resources Information Center. Okay, Education Resources Information Center. Okay, and what is Medline? Medline is the first bibliographic website of US National Library of Medicine. Okay, Medline, it is comprises of the word medicine, so you have to remember it. It is the first bibliographic website of medicine. Okay, and ABI, what is ABI? ABI is Application Binary Interface. Application Binary Interface. So it is a computer software interface between two binary modules. So here simply what you have to remember is all these three are a kind of electronic database. Okay, what is database? Database is something that keeps track of electronic, it is a collection of resources. Okay, what it is? Electronic database is a collection of resources. So here ERIC, Medline, AB Inform are instances of electronic database. ERIC stands for Educational Research Resources Information Center. Medline is your, it is your first bibliography website in the US. Okay, of National Library of Medicine. And AB Inform. What is AB Inform? It is your application binary interface inform. So here all these are a type of electronic database, students. The right answer to this question is option B. Which of the following researchers focuses on enhancing the corpus of knowledge in a given field? Which of the following researchers focus on enhancing the corpus of knowledge? So what is corpus, students? Corpus means it is like a collection of written text in a particular field. So what is it? It is a collection of some written text in a particular field. So how do you do that? Do you do that with the help of action research, applied research, fundamental research, or evaluative research? The right answer to this question is fundamental research. Students, whenever you see the word fundamental research, you should know that this research is also called pure research or applied research. What it is called? Pure research or applied research. So here this kind of research has the task of increasing the knowledge or to expand the knowledge in a particular field. For example, Newton's law of motion. So do you think Newton did this made all the theories because he wanted name or fame? No, he just wanted to expand knowledge or to increase knowledge for his, without any particular motive. If you do a kind of research just for increasing the knowledge in a particular field, that is called fundamental research. Okay, action research is used to solve immediate problems, and applied research is a kind of research for scientific study to solve practical problems. Okay, to solve practical problems. Okay, and you have evaluative research also. So evaluative research does the task of determining whether a process has achieved the goal or not. So for doing evaluation, fundamental research is called applied research. No, here fundamental research is called pure research and basic research. I wrote this by mistake. So fundamental research is called pure research or basic research, where the task is to increase the knowledge only. Here, for example, like the Newton's laws of motion, the three famous laws of motion is an example of fundamental research. Action research is used to solve immediate problems. Applied research is used to solve practical problems. Evaluative research is to evaluate whether something has given the desired result or not. To check whether something has given the desired result or not. Yes, yes, Shelly, it is called basic research or pure research. Okay. ICT application in research is most useful for which of the following reasons? ICT. ICT is what? Information and communication technology. Is it for reducing the cost of research, for academic establishment, for enhancing the scope of accessibility of research data, or for promoting dialogic interactions? So ICT applications in research is used for enhancing the scope of accessibility of research data. As you all know, there are thousands or lakhs of people who do research, and if they write some research paper and all, so if those papers are available to you on a particular website or an application, so it will be easily accessible. So as you all know, ICT is very helpful in increasing the accessibility. Okay, all the research paper, all the research regarding information, if they are available on the internet, you will be able to access it very easily. So ICT application is in research is used for enhancing the scope, okay, scope of accessibility of research data, right? Let's see the next question. The conceptual framework in which a research is conducted is called synopsis of research, research design, research hypothesis, or research paradigm. The conceptual framework on which a research is conducted is called research design. So research design means what are the methods that the researcher will use, what tools the research will use, what type of research he will use. So the conceptual framework, how the research is going to be conducted, is called a research design. It is the framework in which a research is conducted. So here question number 9 is option B. Okay, it is not synopsis, research hypothesis, or research paradigm. So what is hypothesis? Hypothesis is a educated guess. It is a educated guess about something, right? Let's see question number 10. The idea that knowledge comes from experience is rationalism, deductive reasoning, logic, or empiricism. So the idea that knowledge comes from experience is called rationalism, deductive reasoning, logic, or empiricism. So the idea is that, so empiricism says that knowledge comes from experience. For instance, like there are so many people who don't go to school, but still they have lot of knowledge about many things. Okay, there are people who are uneducated who have not gone to any formal school. So, but do you think that they don't know anything? Yes, they do, because they know, because of their experience. For example, uneducated people who have not gone to school, they know that sun rises from the east, they know sun sets in the west. Why? Because they have always seen that. Okay, they also know that if you touch hot things, you can burn yourself. So these things also, these things come from experiences. So the idea that knowledge comes from experience is called empiricism. Okay, question number 10, right answer is option D. It is not rationalism, deductive reasoning. Deductive reasoning, whenever you see the word deductive reasoning, you have to remember this DGP. Okay, what is DGP? DGTP means general to particular. Okay, all men are mortal. Socrates is a man. That means Socrates is mortal. So that is deductive reasoning. Why I'm telling you, students, it is not related to this question. But whenever you see some questions, there should be a picture in your mind that should always be formed. When you see the word deductive reasoning, it should be DGP. Whenever you see inductive reasoning, it should be IPG. IPG is inductive reasoning is from particular to general. Okay, empiricism says that knowledge comes from experience, right? Action research. Action research is an applied research, a research carried out to solve immediate problems, longitudinal research, or simulative research. So Shelley is asking me, what is the meaning of, okay, this question you're asking? Yeah, hypothesis means an educated guess. For example, you say that you want to do a research to prove that if you water plants, they will grow fast. Okay, so here what is this? You are saying that Just imagine that nobody has done research on this. Okay, just for an instance. So your idea that you think, because you have always seen that whenever you who have water plant, or ever you have seen other people who water plants, that time you see that okay, whenever you water plants early morning, they grow faster. So if you are doing a research to prove that if you water plants early morning, they grow faster. So this is a hypothesis. What is hypothesis? Hypothesis is an educated guess. Means you, from your experience, you have come up with a statement that early morning watering the plants will give us better plants. So the hypothesis is an educated guess or an idea about a particular topic. And when you do this research, then you say, if by when you do the research only, then you will get the clear answer. When you will collect data, you will find out, you will uh, study all the data, then you will say, okay, early morning watering plan is good or bad. All that you will get to that later. Okay. But before doing the research, the guess that you say about a particular topic is called a hypothesis. Okay. Next, action research is an applied research and research carried out to solve immediate problems, a longitudinal research, or a simulative research. So action research, I told you. See student, there are certain topics or words you should keep clearly in your mind, and one here is action research. Whenever you see the word action research, this word should strike it in your mind. So an action research is a research which is used to solve immediate problems. What is it used for? To solve immediate problems, to solve the immediate problems. Okay, for example, you are teaching the students in a particular way, and you see that the students are not able to understand that topic. What you will do? You will do a research. Okay, this method is not doing well, let's try this method. So that the problem that the students is not able to understand, so to you will work on that particular problem. So the research method that you are using is action research, and action research is a research to find out or to solve immediate problems. Okay, applied research is for your practical problems. Okay, longitudinal research, students, longitudinal research is those research which is for a long period of time. Okay, long period of time, like if you do a research on uh, the way people think, or how maturity increases toddler to toddler to teenage. So at the time when a baby is a toddler, or when a child is a toddler, he is 2 to 3 years old, and teenage means like 13 to 16 years age. So here, if you are doing research from 3 years to 16 years, so this 10 13 years of research, this type of research is called a longitudinal research. Researches which take place for a long period of time. Okay, the right answer here is for to action research is used to solve immediate problems. Fundamental research reflects the ability to synthesize new ideas, expound new principles, evaluate existing material concerning research, or study the existing literature regarding various topics. Fundamental research reflects the ability to, question number 12, to expound new principle. What is the meaning of expound? Expound means to explain. So fundamental research reflects the ability to explain new principles. Okay, so here we cannot mark C as the answer because it is not used to evaluate existing material only. Okay, So here fundamental research is to find out or ability to explain new principles. Question number 13. Which scientific method is bottom up or generative approach to research? Bottom up approach. Whether it is deductive method, inductive, hypothesis method or pattern method. Which method is a bottom up generative approach? Try to answer this. So students, the scientific method which is bottom up is called inductive method. What is it called? It is called inductive method. Whenever you see the word inductive reasoning or inductive method, you have to remember IPG. IPG means particular general. You see some particular pattern, okay, this, and using this pattern, you go to top. Okay, from bottom, you go up. It is called inductive method. Okay, deductive means DGP. DGP is deductive means general to particular, and inductive is from particular to general. Okay, and it is also called bottom up, right? Okay, students. Now you will remember this is very important. You know this part is you can get questions from inductive and deductive method, from logical reasoning as well, and you will also get it from research aptitude as well. Okay. Next question. Qualitative research is usually Qualitative research is usually deductive in nature, inductive in nature, deductive or inductive in nature, or none of the above. Qualitative research is usually what kind of research? So it is usually inductive in nature. Okay, what you do is in this you go in depth to understand a particular topic, and then from that particular topic you go to a general theory. Okay, so qualitative research is usually inductive in nature and quantitative is deductive in nature. Okay, so here question number 14, right answer is option B. Okay, qualitative is inductive in nature. So here I've written some text also. Research starts with an idea and go to prove a particular point. So in qualitative research, what you do is you start with observation and you go to a particular theory. Okay, so this is inductive method. A non-government organization conducted a study in Gram Panchayat to see the impact of campaign approach of enrollment of retention of rural elementary school children. So this is an example of descriptive study, field experiment, ex post facto research or historical research. So here, a non-government organization conducted a study in a gram panchayat to see the impact of campaigns. So you know, in villages and all, many times a lot of campaigns are run to bring students to the school. So these campaigns were held to see enrollment. Enrollment means admission into a school. Retention means how many students are able to keep coming to the school. Retention of elementary school. Elementary school means like your primary school. Okay, from first to fifth. So this is an example of descriptive study, field experiment, ex post facto, or historical research. So yeah, many students are giving right answer. Yeah, Nisha, Shelly, Kavita has given the right answer. Shamina, it is not B. Okay, the right answer. Yeah, others also. So here, yes, students. For this question, the right answer is B only. See, what they're doing, they are trying to take campaign as the cause and to see what is the effect of this campaign on enrollment and retention of students. Okay, so that ways the right answer will be option B, field experiment. Okay, question number 15, right answer is field experiment. Okay, it is not descriptive, it is not ex post facto, it is not historical. It is because, yeah, field experiment is practically when you see a particular topic and then you do research based on it. Okay, so field experiment are that experiment that are studied in natural setting. Okay, you do not alter it. Okay, the setting is not altered. In the natural setting, you do the research. For example, many times you might have seen you bring animals into the lab and then you put them into some kind of a room and then you try to look at this behavior. So that is not field experiment. You are changing the natural setting. Field experiment is when you are changing the, you are keeping the natural setting and then you are doing the research. Okay, your ex post factor research, and a very good example is effect of earthquake. Okay, after earthquake happens, you might have seen the effect of earthquake. So that is an example of field experiment. So here you are keeping the natural setting. It should be B only. Okay, field experiment. Characteristics of scientific method necessarily include experiment, lab experimentals only, controlled observation, analysis, formulation, or all of the above. So here, characteristics of scientific method necessarily include. What does it include, students? Lab experiments only, controlled observations only, analysis information, or all of the above. Yes, question number 16, right answer is all of the above. So this is scientific method. All of them will be there, not only just lab experiment, controlled observation, analysis, formulation. All of the above is yes. Question number 16. Yes, sorry here, this answer will be option D. The type of sampling where each person in population has equal chance of being selected is probability sampling, non-probability sampling, judgment sampling, or none of the above. So the type of sampling where each person in the population has equal chances of being selected is called probability sampling. Okay, I told you there are two types of sampling, probability sampling and non-probability sampling. In probability sampling, getting picked up, the chances of getting picked up is equal, and here the chances of getting picked up is not equal. Okay, so sampling is the process of collecting objects or data from a population, okay, or people. Judgment type sampling is a kind of non-probability sampling. When a research problem is related to heterogeneous population, the most suitable method is cluster sampling, stratified sampling, convenient sampling, or lottery method. So when the research problem is related to heterogeneous population, at that time you use stratified sampling. In one of the questions I did tell you about stratified sampling, students. What it is, in stratified sampling, there is population, like I told you, there was if you have to do a research on different like on people, okay, just people you have to do, there is nothing like no age group you have mentioned, and in your population there are men also, and young men, there are old men also, and you have kids also, children also are there, then you have female also, old female, young female, or little girls are also there. So the population is heterogeneous. Heterogeneous means there is a lot of variety in the population, it is not same. So at that time what you do is you do stratified sampling. In stratified sampling what you will do is you will divide this population into different strata. You will divide the population into strata, and then like for men you will make one group, for female you will make one group, for old people, then old men, old women, old children, okay, sorry, children, that too boys, little boys, girls, and then you pick up, like you take two from here, two, 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 and two. So if you want to take eight people, instead of randomly selecting, what you do is you divide the population into small groups, and then from that also you take up some people according to your requirement. So that is called stratified sampling when the population is heterogeneous. Remember, students, don't confuse it with cluster sampling. In cluster sampling, what you do is you divide the population into clusters. Okay, and then you pick up any one cluster. But in stratified sampling, from the subgroups also you pick up samples or you pick up people. So this way stratified sampling is the answer. A null hypothesis is when there is no difference between the variables, the same as research hypothesis, subjective in nature, when there is difference between the hypothesis, between the variables. So what is a null hypothesis? So here, when there is no difference between the variables, so that time you denote null hypothesis by H0. So here the null hypothesis and is when there is no difference between the variable. Yes, question number 19, right answer is option A. Good research questions are clear, significant, and ethical, feasible, clear, significant, and ethical, feasible, clear, significant, and includes a hypothesis, or feasible, clear, and ethical. So, a good research questions are clear, feasible, significant, and ethical. Question number 20, right answer is option B. Okay. An educated guess about what is controlling some behavior is called experimental control, a hypothesis, an experimental variable, or a theory. So, an educated guess about what is controlling some behavior is called a hypothesis. I told you an hypothesis is an idea or an educated guess about something. Okay. The accuracy of research process depends upon unbiased attitude of researchers, the sample size, the research method adopted, or all of the above. Means the accuracy of research process. How correct your research process is. So, what are the factors on which it is dependent? The accuracy, the sample size, the research method, or all of the above. So, it is dependent on all of the above. Okay, unbiased view means that the researcher is not subjective, means he will not include his personal view in the research. Sample size means the sample size, if you want to do research on 1 lakh people, means the research is aimed for 1 lakh people, and the sample you take 10 people, so there are high chances that you will not get the correct result. So sample size is also very important. The research method is adopted, so the correct research method is also very important. So all of the above is the answer. Which one of the following is not a quality of a researcher? Unison with what, with that of what which he is in research. He must be alert mind, keenness in inquiry, or his assertion to outstrip the evidence. Which of the following is not a quality of a researcher? Question number 23. So here the right answer is his assertion to outstrip the evidence. Okay, means whatever the result he has got, he should not go beyond that. The researcher should stick to whatever the result he has got, he should not go beyond what he has found. So, the quality of the researcher, this is not a good quality. A researcher should not change the evidence, he should keep the result as it is. So his assertion to outstrip the evidence is the answer to this question. The best quality of a researcher is curiosity, active imagination, ability, or all of the above. So the best quality of a researcher is curiosity. Curiosity, active imagination, ability, or all of the above. The right answer is option D, all of the above. Curiosity also a researcher should have, means he should be eager to find answer to his research. There should be imagination, he should be able to think a different perspective. He should have the required level of ability as well. Okay, he should know about research, how research is performed, what are the methods used, all the ethics. So the ability also he should have. The best quality of a researcher is all of the above. The depth of any research can be judged by the title of the research, objective of the research, total expenditure of the research, or duration of the research. So, question number 25, the depth of any research can be judged by the objective of the research. Okay, what is the aim of the research? So, the depth of any research can be judged by the objective of that research. Which of the following periodical is specifically meant for publishing research work only? Okay, like magazines, monograph, books. So magazines is for entertainment purposes. Okay, then you have books. Books could be fictional, non-fictional. Then you have monographs. So monograph is like a writing on a single subject. Okay, it could be any topic from an author or from an artist. But that periodical is something that comes up in a fixed interval. So your journal is a periodical which is meant for publishing research work only. Question number 26, right answer is option C, journals. The feasibility of a research study generally depends upon cost factor, time required to conduct research, skill set of the research, or all of the above. So, the feasibility of a research study generally depends on all of the above. Okay, cost factor means if you are doing a research which is involving uh, a very expensive stuff and you are not able to buy those, so then the research will not be conducted. So cost factor is also very important. What will be the cost involved, how much time the research is going to take. You cannot do a research which is going to take 60 years. Okay, so this is not feasible. Then skills, the appropriate level of skills are also required. So all of the above is the right answer. A field experiment is one that takes place in real world laboratory, both in real world and laboratory or naturalistic environment. So a field experiment is one that takes place in real world. Okay? Field takes place in a natural setting. The right answer is option A, not in a laboratory. Assertion and reason question. The assertion is saying the result obtained by using empirical studies are considered to be most powerful evidence for a given hypothesis. Reason is saying empirical research is most appropriate when attempt is made to prove certain variables influence the other variables in some way. So empirical research is the research. Empiricism, the word it tells you that knowledge comes from experience. Okay. Likewise, Likewise, empirical research is based on observation and measurement of phenomena. Okay, so here for this question, the right answer is both A and R are correct. Assertion and reason both are correct, and the reason is the right explanation of assertion. Okay, the result obtained by using empirical studies are considered to be the most powerful because knowledge is gained from experience. Okay. Sampling is advantageous as it helps in capital saving. Capital saving means cost saving, increases accuracy, saves time, or both A and C. So, sampling is beneficial as it, like I told you, if you are doing a research on 1 lakh people, okay, so it will be very expensive. So, if you take only 1,000 people in your research, then it will definitely save your cost. It will increase accuracy. No, there are chances that it will decrease accuracy. So this is not right. It will save time. Yes, instead of doing research on 1 lakh people, doing research on 1,000 people is certainly time saving. Okay, so cost and time is will be saved in sampling. That is why A and C is correct. Okay, so here that was the end of the session, students. So here I would also like to tell you that we have our students who are preparing UGC NET paper 2 in commerce, economics, computer science and management. We have complete study material for you in the form of mock tests, notes, lectures, PYQs, PDF. So our paper 2 fees is 7,000 rupees and here you get paper 1 free. Okay, you get paper 1 absolutely free here. So all the students who are, again I'm telling you that we are starting a new batch from 14th of April, and the topic that we'll be taking up is logical reasoning. Here students, this topic is very important because it is quite scary for many people. So what you have to do is you have to take all the classes very seriously from 14th of April, because we'll be covering each and every topic from logical reasoning. Okay, so here also do give the evaluation test for today. The test code is RA004. You have to go in UGC Net folder. On our app, you have to go into UGC Net paper 1 and then research aptitude. In research aptitude folder, you will get the free test on research aptitude. Okay. So thank you for coming in this session. Let's meet tomorrow. Tomorrow also we'll be having our class on logical reasoning. Sorry, on research aptitude.